Hello, lovely people. It's Friday again, and it's time for another webinar with Juji. And today we're looking at powering your chatbot to support multi-turn Q&A with no code. One of the key features of Juji is it is a true no-code platform. It's something they're very proud of, and it's kind of their boundary. They're staying in that no-code lane. But because they've been so strict about that, they've actually used a lot of skill to make their no-code platform be able to do things that typically other platforms would have to code, which is pretty amazing. Whilst we're waiting for a few people to join, if you have joined already, please let me know in the comments. That shows me that the conversation side of it's working. You can hear me and you can see me. Also, tell me in the world where you're from. So I've been doing that over the whole series, and it's interesting to see where in the world people are coming in from. I know the time zone can be a little bit of an issue. Where I am at the moment is 8 p.m. And I know, this is kind of the latest I'll probably watch somebody do a LinkedIn Live. Often I catch them a few hours later or the next day. I'm very rarely on them live, to be honest, because they always fall at weird times for me. Anyway, what we're going to be looking at is this whole idea of no code and QA. Oh, Estefania Acosta, I hope I said your name right. In New Jersey, USA, somewhere I really want to go. Angela, hello, Angela. Good to see you, and congratulations on the new role. Really pleased for you. You're in Tenerife. I love Tenerife. I haven't been there for years. I went sailing many years ago and did the whole of those islands, Madeira, Gomera, Tenerife, Gran Canaria. What was another? Lanzarote. Yeah, and I had a fantastic time. I've been to Tenerife a couple of times holidaying, but yeah, that sailing trip was by far the best. Lovely to have you both here. I hope there's some more people in as well. So we're going to be looking at this whole multi-turn thing. So as great as ChatGPT is, and I use it a lot, especially around getting ideas for content, creating content, checking content. I use it for translation. I use it for spelling and grammar checks. It's a fantastic tool, or just asking it simple questions. It's really clever. But what it can't do is it can't have that backwards and forwards to give you more information. So if you asked it a question, it wouldn't naturally give you an answer, then start asking you for like follow-up questions. It's just not capable of doing that. And if you've ever created FAQs, Q&As within another chatbot platform, you know how complicated it goes when you're asking like multiple questions in a conversation using your chatbot, and then depending on the answer, you give the next answer, next answer. It's really complicated. But the way Juji approaches it is really unique. And it took me a while to get my head around it. And what I'm going to try and do is simplify it for you now so that you can understand how it works. I think it's truly one of the best features in Juji. So let's get straight into it, shall we? You know how I love to build. Okay, so this is the Juji platform. If you've not seen it before, it's a nice, simple interface. Got chatbots and then third-party integrations. And I'll go through the whole thing of creating a chatbot again, because not everybody's seen it. If you've got any questions as I'm going along, just ask them in the comments. I can see them here on my screen, and I'll fill you in. Let's go for it. So here we are. This is where you'd normally create them. You can see I'm up to AI Helper 119, gives you an idea of how much time I've spent on the platform, learning, testing, breaking. It's a hell of a platform. So if I wanted to, I could import one, or I can just create a new one, which is what we're going to do. So I'm going to click create. Two options: Facebook Messenger or website. Always do a website. I could just start fresh, and I've been doing that just lately. I just think it's just a better way of kind of stressing myself and trying to do it. Although there is some amazing templates within Juji, but for speed today, we're going to choose a template, and we've got lots. So we can filter them at the top. So there's them all, and you can see there's plenty. Or we can go general, HR, education, and healthcare. So for today's demo, we're just going to use healthcare. And I thought that for this demonstration, we'd use this one here, Student Application Assistant. If you've not been to this before, or you might not even remember, but if they've got this little brain icon here, brain emoji, this means that it's had the AI treatment. So it allows you to do some quite clever stuff. If you haven't seen it, there's plenty of videos to go back and watch, really interesting stuff. So you can see this one has, this one has, this one hasn't, this one hasn't. Yeah, it'd be nice actually to have a filter. We could just go generative AI, but we don't have that. So the one we're going to look at for this demonstration for multi-turn is Student Application Assistant. I think I've been through most of these now. So if you've not seen these little template cards before, they obviously give the name, they tell you a little bit about it, and then you can normally have a little eye on, but this one hasn't got one. That's the first time I've ever seen one without the eye, but normally you can just click on the eye and it gives you a little demonstration or a little preview of what the conversation might look like. But we're going to go into this one anyway. And give it a second. So it's creating it. Now, if you've seen me before, we use the AI to customize the chatbot. I'm not going to do that today just to save time. I don't want to be live really for more than 20 minutes. I know how busy everybody is. Do remember as well, you can sign up for Juji today and use it free of charge, all the features, great fun. If you want to get your hands dirty on a new platform, this is the one to do it with. So we'll click it to preview. There you go. And it starts as you would expect from the template. So let's have a look at kind of multi-turn and what a Q&A is. So let's do it as if I was adding a new Q&A. So if I add a new one here, you'll notice on the left I've got the question or the comment, and then on the right here I've got the chatbot response. So the question might be, am I eligible for financial aid? Question mark. And this is typically how you and I would create FAQs for any kind of chatbot. We'd be using the information that we're given and we'd be creating this for someone. But any business can do this. What I really love about the FAQs within Juji is you can actually download the CSV, and that's everything laid out. So to put it into Excel or whatever spreadsheet program you use, then you can just put in all of your FAQs and then upload them and then test them all. But we'll do it manually for today. So typically, if somebody was going to ask that question, which is quite an open question because financial aid will depend on a lot of things about that individual circumstances. So typically what we would do is something along these lines. It'd be something like, at this stage, I can't say if you would be eligible or not. Please refer to the website. It would be, something quite generic, perhaps a link somewhere. Can't spell website. How many millions of times have I typed that? It would be something. It typically be something quite generic, saying, we need to ask you several questions. Get in touch with us. Email us here. Go to here. Whatever else. And I suppose that's all well and good, but is it really helping? That to me is a chatbot rather than a true AI helper. An AI helper is going to hold your hand, ask you the right questions, give you the right response. And yes, there's going to be a manual element of it, but you're going to put them in the right position and give them as much information as possible. And that's the difference with multi-turn. So this is, they ask the question, they get a response, and then they have to go off and do the research themselves. But in true style, we're going to look, just like a TV chef would, we're going to actually look at one that's had multi-turn added to it. So if I was creating this now, what I would do here is it says, am I eligible for financial aid? Let's might do something like, let's check. And then you would come down to this little element here, which says add media multi-turn. And all you would do is you would click that, and then you would go through the multi-turn build. I'm not going to do that at this stage purely because it'll take too long. You know, we're 10 minutes in already and it will just take too long. Any questions? No questions yet. Good. So let's go back to the Q&A board. We can see I've just been creating that, but I'm not going to add it. So we'll just delete it. And what we'll do is we'll actually find one that's been created, and then I'll be able to break down how that's set up for you. So financial, let's get it right. So we can see that there's a Q&A already in there, and we can see question variations, any financial aid, how to get financial aid, typical stuff that you would generate. Good little tip if you're using ChatGPT and you haven't got a platform like Judy, just ask ChatGPT to create your variations on a question. It's not bad, and actually Judy's got it built in, makes life much easier. And then you can see down here below the chatbot response, and in brackets it says a multi-turn answer is defined for this question. Fantastic. So let's select it. And what we see is the response that's been built into the template. So the question is, am I eligible for financial aid? And it says we provide a number of financial aid options, and that's a link that they could go out to and explore. But you can see here it says that there is a MQ&A 5 multi-turn answer defined. So it's already been built. So let's go in and take a look. So what we've got is, if you've never seen this before, is the topic card going down the side. And we can see here that the first thing it does is it asks the question, would you like me to walk you through the various options to see which one might be the best for you? So it gave them the link in the initial response, but then straight away would have come up with this response here, offering additional support. This is where multi-turn gets interested. And you'll notice there's two radio buttons, a yes and a no. What I really like with Judy is it makes building these really quick. So it's actually using some pre-built chatbot responses, and there it is. And then what it says is really, really simple. Trigger 1, if the choice is yes, then do. Then great, that's the quick acknowledgement. And then it goes to topic card 3, which is here. And then if the user's choice is no, then it just replies with, no worries, then you can find me here if you want me to help you explore your financial options. Really, really simple. So we saw that if they say yes, it goes to topic card 3. So let's have a look at topic card 3. So they've said yes, they want assistance. So now we're going to go into actually having a proper conversation. So she comes back then and says, in general, there are 4 types of financial aid options. If I know your situation better, I'll be able to narrow down the suitable options. Perfect. That's what a digital assistant should be doing. Not just sending you to a web link or sending you to to a phone number and email. It should be trying to actually guide you. So there's some options here. And the question it asks, do you consider yourself a military personnel? Yes, no, I don't know what military personnel means. And of course, we've got some pre-built chatbot responses. And we can see here, we've got all the triggers. So trigger 1, yes. Then it will go to topic card 8. There you go. And then we've got trigger 2. No, I'm not. Then it goes to 5. And then trigger 3, it just does a quick acknowledgement. Sorry, I should have made it more clear. So they're the options. Different triggers give different responses. So really, really simple to build. It moves the conversation along. Obviously, there's some skill to building the conversation so it feels natural, and that's where your conversational design skills come in. But shall we have a quick look at that in action? So if I just copy that and we go to preview. 15 minutes in, doing well for time. If you've got any questions, please do ask. I'll show you something really special here as well. So this is Vita welcomers, and it's kind of a get ready. Are you ready to get started? Typically, you would type yes or no, but we're just going to interrupt. This is something that Juju does really well. It allows that natural interruption to happen. Am I eligible for financial aid? So, as we saw, we provide a number of financial aid options. Would you like me to walk me through the various options and see which one might be best for you? And we've got the yes and no. Remember, when I click some of these, it's going to use pre-bill. Otherwise, it's just going to come back with a quick reply. So, yeah, we're going to say yes, obviously. Great, let's do it. We could, where it says great, let's do it, we could have varied that answer. So there could be 3 slightly variations on let's do it. So ask the question in general, there are 4 types of financial aid options. If I know your situation better, I'll be able to narrow down the suitable options. Do you consider yourself military? We've got a yes, a no, and I don't know what that means. So we're going to click yes. And there you go. It comes back giving some really important information. There's a lot of information, so it breaks it down into smaller chunks. Great for small screens. And it says, would you like me to connect you with one of my human colleagues who specializes in helping military students? And yes, we're going to say yes. And there you go. That will then connect in whatever way you set up, whether that is pings off an email, takes their details and calls them back, whatever it might be. Live chat is the obvious option. Really, really simple. Now, you'll notice that we interrupted that conversation at the start with a chatbot when she asked, are you ready to get started? And she's gone straight back to it. She's dealt with that interruption. We've gone through the multiple chat, and then we're back here. So let's just continue that conversation. And there you go. There would have been, basically, we would have built the conversation on the back of that template. So that's it. It's really, really straightforward. Angela, give it a round of applause. Thank you. Yeah. When I first saw this multi-turn stuff, I was really confused because I've used a lot of platforms, and I'm sure you have, Angela. And what you're typically doing is you're building kind of like a flow chart, whether it's going left to right or top to bottom, and you're putting in, you're dragging, creating a new dialog box. If they say yes, say that, and it's really slow and clunky to build on. I don't know how many hundreds of hours I spent doing that. But with this multi-turn Q&A facility that Juju provides, it's really, really quick. I mean, like super quick. Like I'd say like 10x quick. And then you add into that the generative AI elements that Juju have implemented, and it's an absolute dream. So that's it. If you haven't got any further questions, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. What you can do is you can go back through the library on the Juju LinkedIn page. There's lots of these. I would say start from one and work your way through them if you're looking to train. If you get stuck on anything, reach out to me. Sign up today, get an account, learn a new platform. It's one of the best things we can do as conversational designers. And do follow the Juju page where you see this. And I'll see you in the next one in a couple of weeks. Something a little bit special on that one. Michelle and I will be working on that. Thanks. I was aiming for 20 minutes. We're 18 minutes in. You've got to love that. And I'll see you at the next one. Take care.